Okay, so we've all heard about the drama going on with FTX. FTX, one of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges and also regarded as one of the safest de facto crypto banks, took customer deposits and funneled them into a hedge fund, Alameda Research, to be used as play money for risky investments. When it was exposed that FTX was lying to customers, it basically triggered the equivalent of a bank run, causing a liquidation crisis and forcing them to hit the pause button on customer withdrawals because so many people were trying to pull out their money so quickly. And what it really meant is that millions couldn't get their money out before it all went down. For those of us who felt the pain of the 2008 recession, FTX's failure no doubt feels like a Lehman Brothers failure during the subprime mortgage crisis. Do the four words "too big to fail" ring a bell? Now, I don't have any money in crypto, so I wasn't personally affected by the FTX collapse. But all this drama has made me wonder, how safe are my cash and investments being stored in the form of a handful of different accounts? For example, checking accounts, savings accounts, brokerage accounts, and even my 401k. Well, it turns out my money is pretty safe, thankfully, but there are things I could be doing to make it even safer. I created a simple safety checklist based on the research I did, which I gotta say is helping me sleep just a little bit better at night. Hey everyone, I'm Neil from Roundup Save. If you're new here, we learn to demystify money so we can build wealth that lasts. If that sounds like something that's interesting to you, please consider subscribing to the channel so we can learn together. All right, so I'm gonna break this checklist into 3 sections: bank accounts, brokerage accounts, and 401k/IRA accounts, since that covers pretty much all of my cash and investments and will translate over to most people in the US too. Let's jump in. Bank accounts like checking and savings accounts, money market accounts, and certificates of deposits, or CDs, are some of the safest places to keep your money. Here's why. Say if you have a checking and savings account with Bank of America like I do, and Bank of America goes bust. One of 2 things might happen. The first thing is that another bank might take over the deposits, meaning you had your money in Bank of America initially, and now it might be transferred over to Charles Schwab. Your money is unchanged, but it just had a different home at a different bank. If that doesn't happen, then the FDIC, or the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, will cover up to $250,000 in each account held at the bank. So this is where the safety of your money actually improves by having more accounts spread over multiple accounts, especially if you're holding more than $250,000 in your accounts. Bonus points if you hold your money in different accounts across different banks. The key here is to keep your money with banks that are FDIC insured and have clearly stated that on their website that they are in fact FDIC insured. The SEC, or the US Securities and Exchange Commission, prohibits broker-dealers from using your money or mixing it with the firm's assets. Plain and simple. In case there are missing client assets and the brokerage firm cannot meet its obligations to its customers, the Securities Investor Protection Corporation, or SIPC, intervenes on behalf of the customers. SIPC provides up to $500,000 per account, including as much as $250,000 in cash, for missing securities such as stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and ETFs. This coverage is available for a host of accounts, including a brokerage account in your own name, a traditional IRA, a Roth IRA account, and even a joint account at the same brokerage firm. The SIPC will not cover investments that are not SEC registered, and this is exactly where the whole FTX debacle came into play. FTX is technically an offshore exchange not regulated by the SEC, so it fell into this regulatory gray area despite many American investors putting their money into it. Unfortunately, the hype of crypto, celebrity endorsements, and sleek marketing surrounding FTX convinced a lot of people to invest despite this clear risk. In most cases where exchanges are regulated by the SEC, if assets are missing and the brokerage firm is solvent, SIPC typically will not intervene, and the loss will be between you and the firm to resolve. In this situation, firms might have supplemental insurance to cover some kind of a loss like this. Overall, almost all brokerage firms that sell stocks or bonds to the public are required to join SIPC, which provides a safety net for customers in the event of a brokerage failure. Regardless though, it's still important to make sure you do your own homework and make sure you understand the limitations of SIPC coverage, and to take all the precautions like spreading your assets across multiple accounts and banks to mitigate any risk. All right, it's great news that if a company that offers a 401k plan to its employers declares bankruptcy, the plan's assets are safeguarded. Thank God. Under the Federal Employee Retirement Income Security Act, which was passed way back in 1974 and governs 401k plans, these assets must be held in a trust. This means that 401k money is separate from a company's assets and is protected from the company's creditors. Another piece of good news is that this protection also will shield employees' money if the 401k plan administrator, like Fidelity or Vanguard, were to just go away. One thing to keep in mind is that other types of company-sponsored deferred compensation plans that are not 401ks are in fact considered assets of the employer and could be seized by creditors in the event of a bankruptcy. All in all, this checklist should give you a general sense of how safe your money is based on the various accounts you might have. But as always, do your own research before investing anywhere and don't just go off the hype train. That's all, guys. Thanks so much for watching and see you in the next one.